Do you have snow tires?
I have all season tires.
Do you want snow tires?
Mm, I don't think so.
Okay.
I feel like all seasons are good enough. I feel like getting tires is more hassle than.
Well, no, I have some I'm trying to get rid of. Well, I mean, do you plan on driving in the snow? All
I'm.
seasons don't. They're not
I mean, I'm
like.
driving. If it snows, yeah, I'm gonna be driving. I'm
Mhm.
gonna be sticking to
Uh,
the roads though. Like, I'm sticking to the main roads.
yeah, you might want some winners.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why is that? I mean, it's supposed to snow one more time, and then that's probably it. I don't know. I was.
that's it forever. It's gonna snow one more time, then you think it's done for the year?
Yep, that's what I said. Forever
No, but like for the year.
for the
They're like,
year. I mean, I don't know. I think so. I think that would be about it.
oh, okay. I mean, yeah, you do you.
But like, why would I want? Why would I want tires?
To be able to drive in the snow and on the ice and
But my
whatnot.
my all seasons are pretty good.
They're not as good as winners.
Why don't you want your winners?
No, I have an extra set. Like I had a set that I was gonna use for my van, but they don't fit. I like held on to them thinking they were gonna fit my van, and it turns out they don't.
So you think they would fit a Honda Civic
What year's your car?
2020?
Yeah, they'll fit your car.
I don't know. That
Shit.
sounds like. Are you gonna come do it for me? Like I don't know. It sounds like a hassle swapping my tires out and everything.
Um, I mean, I can't come do it for you. You need a tire machine. I could do it at work, but then scheduling a time is gonna be difficult for me to
Yeah,
do it.
yeah, that's the
So
thing.
you'd be better off just going to a place and getting it done.
I mean, yeah, I don't even have anywhere to want to store them. Like, no, I'm okay. Thank you for the offer, but I'm okay.
You don't have anywhere to store. Just store them outside.
I'm not. I'm okay. Thank you though.
Yes. Okay.
If you want to
Uh,
store your tires here,
look, that's okay. Look at, I have a place to store them.
where are you storing them right now?
They're just at work.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah,
I'm
fair
selling
enough.
them. I'm selling them, so I figured I'd give you first grabs on
Oh,
them.
I appreciate it.
It's still live on the stream after this run for, I'll just end now, actually.
Yeah, so he's like running the game, you know. Are
Yeah.
you at home?
Yeah, I'm at home.
You should
See, when you said you'd be 30 minutes, I'm like, this dude's gonna come to my house. And then you disappeared, and I tried to check Snap Maps, and you just weren't on there. I'm like, this
No.
dude's stuff. Like, I was just like waiting for a knock at the door. I was gonna shower, and I'm like, I can't shower because Jake's gonna get here.
I actually don't know exactly where you live. Like I wouldn't be able to get there without like
I thought you
asking
were
you
gonna
the
go off
address.
Snap Maps.
Yeah.
Get my Instagram story right now. Can you see my Instagram story? I can't even see my Instagram story. It won't let me view
I'm
it.
just scrolling. There's so many stories.
What's the Instagram story supposed
I
to
mean, you
be?
can just type my name. Oh, it didn't finish posting.
Okay,
I
well then
see
I
it.
won't be able to find it. Oh,
Vancouver's first day of snow.
Oh, you do see it.
Oh, you posted the video that was all over the news?
I didn't know this video was on the news.
There was a video that was on the news where I mean I'm still watching it, but it was a pile up and the bus ended up hitting everybody. It was like 7 or 8 cars.
Oh no, I didn't get to the point of seeing a bus. I don't know if this is the same road, but
This looks very similar. Actually, my
so
video might be a follow up. I'm gonna send it to you guys.
okay, but anyway, Jake, all
Yeah.
those people in that video are
Yeah.
on all seasons.
Nice.
Just saying.
are you sure about that?
Yes.
How do you know?
Yeah, it's very confident for some random little TikTok video.
No, but based on how like the tires are slipping,
Yeah.
like winter tires don't slip like that if they're gonna slip.
Yeesh.
And winter
How do you know
tires,
they're all seasons and not just not winter tires? Because it's like
because
the
winter tires don't slip like that.
yeah, I know, but there's winter tires and there's all seasons and then there's another type of tires.
There's summer tires, there's
Yeah.
all season, there's winter tires, and then there's all weathers.
So how do you know it's not summer tires?
Well, one, because normally summer tires are like specially ordered. like most cars, like when you get a car with tires, typically they don't have summer tires unless they're like a sports car or something like that, or like a roadster, like comes some kind of special car.
Wait,
Like all,
check the video I sent. It's definitely a continuation of the video you said on your Instagram. That's definitely the
oh,
exact same road.
100%.
It's crazy.
The same cars are in the lineup
Yeah,
too. Oh, geez, the bus is just
the
gonna
bus
take
smacked
them.
all
Oh, it's a small
domino
bus
effect.
though. It's a small
Yeah,
bus.
good
Oh,
thing it
it
wasn't a
just
fat bus.
pushes the cars the rest of the way down
Yeah,
there.
pushes them into the middle of the intersection.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's a rough,
That's why insurance is so
rough video.
expensive.
When I was driving my car in the snow with all season tires, that didn't happen to me.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
home pretty safe that day. That days I drove home.
But where you really run into an issue though is on a hill like that.
Dude, the 176th hill, I
Yeah.
feel like is might even be steeper than that one.
Yeah.
No, but where you going? I know, but I'm saying like that is when you like that's
Yeah,
when you really want winter tires
fair
because
enough.
yeah, they'll just actively like try and grab even if you lose traction, they're constantly like trying to grab at the next spot of traction. Whereas with your all seasons, once they start sliding and your summers too, they just keep sliding. So,
Yeah, it was a
and
little
I
scary.
guess in saying that, they could just have really bad winter tires.
They could just be worn out.
But yeah, it could just be really old and worn out winter tires. But Jake, did you go down the hill or up it?
I went up
176.
it. Like on my way home is when it was really coming down. I went
Okay,
up
so
the
you're
hill
going up it.
and yeah, people were pulling U-turns because they couldn't make it up because they were slipping out.
Yeah, going up it is not nearly as bad as going down.
Okay, fair enough, fair
Like you're
enough.
not
I
gonna
did
have
have
that
to
going.
run a red light. Like I was forced into it. I tried to stop and it didn't let me stop, so I just cruised along.
uh, yeah, it's people like you that make me nervous.
It was forced, okay? It was a yellow and I could have stopped on any other day for the yellow, but I
Yeah.
couldn't because I just slipped right through.
No, yeah, I hear you. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Just
I
what makes
mean,
me nervous.
okay, well, if it was red the whole time, I would have slowed down a lot earlier, but it was green, so I
Yeah,
was going the speed limit, and then it turned yellow. I was like, okay, I'll slow
yeah,
down, and then I didn't.
yeah.
Yeah,
This is also like your first like time driving in the snow, right?
no,
No, you
fresh
had.
snow, yes, but I've driven in like the slush and shit.
Oh, okay.
That was my first time in the fresh snow.
Okay. Yeah, it takes a while to like realize what's gonna happen, and it's also so different depending on like the car that you have on how it reacts to like what you do and stuff. Like some cars are better than others. Like in the beginning of the video that I put up, there's a Range Rover just going down that hill perfectly fine.
Dude, it was so much fun driving home that day.
Yeah.
It was a blast. I was cruising in the left lane, going a solid like 20. Everyone in the right lane was going like 5, and they had to turn around.
You're gonna have one spook. You're gonna have or like a
I
hit,
almost drifted into another car, but then I grabbed traction the last second. It was pretty crazy.
and you still don't want winter tires, eh?
I mean, I think I can get by without them. They'd be
Oh,
nice, but like tires are
Yeah, they're kind of
expensive.
expensive for like
I know they are
less than
expensive,
half of a month of
Yeah,
time.
it snows like 3 times a year
but
at
in
most.
saying that, they last. Like if you are like just like if you're switching them right after the snow ends, they last a really long time.
Yeah, but for someone who doesn't isn't a mechanic, it kind of costs money to also get them switched.
For
If you have to
sure,
take them to a mechanic.
but it costs a
Yeah.
lot less money than like writing off your car.
Well, if your car's a write-off, then it's covered by insurance unless
Right,
it's
but
your
then
fault.
you pay for well, if it's a write-off because you crashed it in the snow, it's your
Oh yeah,
fault.
if you're at fault, then that's a different
But
story, I
either
guess.
way, even if it's yeah, it's still like it was still covered by insurance, but then your insurance rate goes up.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're at fault,
Yeah,
that
Definitely
wouldn't be
trying to
good.
avoid accidents. Like I'm not trying to get in an accident.
and get winter tires, man. I can't stress it enough. I feel like there's definitely like some situations where I don't think some people need winter tires,
Yeah.
I've never. I mean, I. This is the first year that I'm not working out of like that I'm not working out of the house. Like this is the
Yeah.
first year, the first winter. I guess no, this will be the second winter that I'm working at home, but uh I've never needed winter tires. Even going up to Cyprus and it's like the snow, it's literally driving on snow up there. Like it's just fine. I've just
All
been
right.
driving careful.
Yeah, just got to be careful. Exactly.
I mean, yeah.
I think you just want me to buy your
Dude,
tires.
I'm not worried about my tires selling. I was gonna give you my tires for $200. I'm
Yeah.
selling them for double that, and I'm not worried about them selling. They're
Yeah.
basically like brand new, and they're like I shouldn't say they're the best tire on the market, but they're a really good tire. Those
Arguably
tires.
the best tire on the market.
No, they're not. I wouldn't say they're the best tire on the market, but they're a very reputable tire. Like they're made by a company called Goodyear, which is
Whoosh.
nope. They're made by a company called Goodyear.
Whoosh.
So yeah, I'm not worried about them selling, especially with the snowfall and people trying to get tires last minute. And those tires, they go for like $150 a tire, like to buy
Eesh.
them brand new.
Crazy.
But no, yeah, I bought a set of winters. I just picked them up yesterday actually, so and then put them on today.
Damn.
But in my Subaru, like in my sports car, for the longest time, I didn't have winter tires on that. Like I had summers, I didn't even have all season, and I did okay. Like it was a struggle, and I had to drive very, very careful. Um,
Yeah.
and I still did okay. But then, like last year, the snow got really bad, and I was like, okay, I got to get some all seasons. So I got all seasons, which helped a lot. But that car was also like an all-wheel drive Subaru, and Subaru has like the best all-wheel drive system
Yeah, I think mine's only a two-wheel
in
drive.
production right now. Yeah, yours is a front-wheel drive.
Is it front wheel?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
I mean, front wheel's better in the snow than rear wheel.
it is. It is.
Definitely.
Yeah,
And in saying that though, get snow tires, man. I don't want to have to say I told you so if something happens, but man,
You're
if something
gonna
happens,
fucking tell me if something
I'm gonna
happens.
tell you. I can't stress it enough. I feel like there's definitely people who can get away without having winter tires, and I think it's one people who don't typically do a whole lot of driving, like who don't work a 9 to 5 that needs them having to commute to work.
Yeah.
Two
I don't
people
know,
who
man.
people who
It was
live.
like I was just thinking of like 2019, 2020, 2019, 2020. They were like pretty. Those are pretty snowy years, kind of for us.
Yeah,
And I was driving like all over the place. Like when I was working for the electrician, like we were rarely working close. We were, like most of my drives were like 30 minutes away without the snow. And so
yeah.
it's like I don't know, and I was very comfortable with it and very like I had no issues at all.
Man, I would be telling you the same thing I'm telling Jake. I'd be like, you should get some snow tires.
Yeah, but
However, I guess the other reason why I'm particularly going on this long conversation with Jake is just because how new he is to driving.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate your looking out for me.
Yeah.
like I definitely agree that they would be better to have in the snow than all season, but at the same time it just creates that extra like the extra hassle that as soon as it is no longer like it's no longer snowy and as soon as it's dry, you don't want to be driving your winter tires and you're going to want to get them switched off ASAP. And then if it snows again, then you want to get them put back on. So it's like,
Well, no, you can drive them if there's no snow on the ground. Like my sister, for the past 2 years now, I think, or this is going to be the second year, has just been driving on her winter tires all year round.
yeah, but I thought that they wear super quickly if you're
It's not
driving
as
them
it's it's
in dry weather.
It's not as quick as you think. It has to be really hot. Like I don't think it really gets. It's only in the summer when we're like plus like even like plus 25, plus 30, like that kind of heat where it's really not great. But just for the moderate temperatures, you're not going to wear any more than a typical tire would. Unless you get a really cheap snow tire. But for the most part, you'll be okay.
Right. So
Where?
yeah, I guess when it's just like once it starts getting warmer, as
Yeah.
well, not only warmer, just like also drier. So the
Yes.
dryness isn't necessarily the problem.
It's not so much
It's
the
both.
it's more the heat. It's just like the snow tires, they dry out really quickly and then they start to crack. I wouldn't say they wear down any faster. It's just the moisture gets like taken out of the rubber faster in the heat. Like it's not as well protected because you want it to be like softer for the snow type of thing.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah. Don't quote me on that because I'm not a tire scientologist, but from
Tire
You
Scientologist.
definitely sound like a tire Scientologist.
From my experience, that's just been my experience with them. I'm just going off of my personal experience with these tires. Anyway, I won't harp on it anymore.
Fair enough.
I gave you my recommendation. You do
I
with that
mean,
information
The
as you
tire Scientologist is done preaching.
will. Anyway, then welcome to Arguably Podcast. Shalom.
I'm Jake.
God blame.
Yeah, we got if it wasn't obvious, we had snow this week.
I think it might have been obvious. See the crazy
Yeah,
power-ups.
we had snow, and it seems like every year that we get snow, no matter how much they tell us the snow's coming, no one's prepared for it. Every year, it's like everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, where's the shovel? Where's the salt?" You know, people are freaking out to get their tires done. I was one of those
Well,
people.
except for me.
I was one of those people. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do my tires. I'm gonna do my tires." And then, well, I say do. I had to buy them, and I was like, "Okay, I'll go buy them. I'll look into it. I'll look into it." Then I never looked into it, and then the snow fell, and I was like, "Fuck."
Then you bought some
And
tires.
Understandable.
I bought some tires this week and picked them up yesterday. Put them on my car today. But now what? It's not going to snow again. So, but whatever. They're good tires. I like them. I intentionally went out of my way to find some ice to like test them out and see how they did. I haven't used this tire brand before, so my sister used like the old version of this tire, and she said it was really good. So I bought like their new version, and so far, I'm liking it.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah. I am really concerned with this car that I have because it's like a super small. It's basically like smart car size, right? So I'm worried on how it's gonna do in the snow because typically if you have a heavier vehicle, you're better off. Like it's easier for your vehicle to get grip.
Right.
But this thing's just so light. So it's basically like sitting on top of the ice. Not a whole lot of pressure is being put down on it. So
Yeah, fair enough.
we'll see how she holds.
Mm-hmm.
I made a snowman the night it snowed. Went out at like 10 o'clock and built two snowmen.
Oh yeah, that looked fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Like a good time.
I haven't made a snowman in a while. It's been quite a few years. It
Can't
was
remember the last time I did. Must have been at my old house.
it was sad though because I woke up and then like when I left the house, they would just melted and they just fell apart. It was just like three crumpled snowballs on the sidewalk.
Rip Frosty.
Yeah. Did snow angels as well? That happened.
Nice, nice.
Oh, snow angels singular. My girlfriend just did one. I wasn't gonna get down
Wow.
in there.
Didn't want to do a snow angel.
I had to make the video.
Uh-huh.
Had to take the video. But no, it was fun. It was fun. I wanted to build a fort, but I needed some inspiration. I wanted to look some up first and see because I couldn't picture a snow fort in my mind or what I'd do for it. So it would have just been like a circle dome, and I wanted to build something a bit cooler than that. I think this year, if we get a good snow dump, I want to actually try and see if I can make like a multi-level fort or like a single floor type of house type of thing for it. Like
Be a lot
it's
of
big
fun.
enough and has like different rooms and stuff, and that you like fully maybe not walk into, but like crawl into.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, I remember one year where when it snowed a lot, like years ago, I built like we built like an igloo with my brother and sisters in the backyard. It wasn't like an igloo with like proper like blocks of snow. We just built a really big pile of snow and then hollowed it out, and it was we could crawl inside and hang out. There was like you could fit three of us inside of it at a time. It was really fun.
the snowplow came down my street and like put all the snow up against our basketball hoop, so it was just a giant tower, and we just also kind of cut out some tunnels in there and slip and slide around. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's fun. I love like I don't know, it was so cool like being in the snow in like a little fortress in the snow because it was warmer in there because it was just like all the heat was being trapped. And
That's
it
what
was just like
I was gonna
chill.
ask that if it was like, did you like notice a difference?
Oh yeah, like
Definitely.
yeah, because I remember like wearing all my like winter gear and whatever, and I like started sweating in there just like sitting in the
Oh,
igloo,
jeez. How
and I was
doesn't
just
it
like
melt
yeah.
from like the inside out?
Well, it's the inside. Honestly, kind of like it kind of turns to ice.
Yeah, it melts a
Like it,
bit and then it freezes itself
yeah,
Oh,
and
that's
then it
trippy.
hardens. It's like a shell.
yeah,
Pretty cool.
yeah. It was awesome.
Yeah, because I remember learning about them in school and whatnot, and like in watching TV, you'd see people make igloos or whatever, and they'd go inside and have fires. Do you think you could do that? Like
Oh
make
yeah,
an actual have a fire inside the igloo? It would just have to be bigger then, right?
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
It would strengthen itself though.
yeah.
Like it would melt the inside and turn to ice, and it would make it stronger. I think.
And they also like if you have a fire in them, they also have like a hole at the top for like
Yeah,
the
yeah. If you don't
smoke
have
to
that,
Oh,
come out.
then it's
that makes sense.
dangerous.
That makes sense.
Then it gets
Yeah,
dangerous, and you smoke yourself out.
It feels like that
yeah.
defeats the purpose though, because then you're letting all the heat out.
I mean, I think while the fire's going, it's still pretty warm in there because you're all protected from the wind and yeah, I don't know. I mean, clearly it works because like people
Definitely.
do it, people have done it,
Yes, so.
The hole is
and
just a
there's
little smaller than you would expect. Like you're not letting all the heat out; you're just letting all the smoke out.
yeah.
Right. Right. Makes sense. Um, so what do you guys want to touch base on? I feel like we went over a lot of the stuff that we were gonna talk about and never actually got there. Did we pick up?
Did we?
Like last time. We were like, oh, we got this and this and this, and then we spent like the whole time talking about I don't remember what we talked about, but
I don't remember what I was gonna talk about, and I don't know if I talked about it.
your dream.
Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about my
Your
dream.
dream.
Yeah, I mean, I get. Oh, you know what? I also had a pretty weird dream last night as well. I was like in Call of Duty Zombies, but it wasn't like a map that actually exists. It was like a map at like a beach, but it looked like it was all like dark, but it wasn't nighttime. It was just like a rocky beach, not sandy, not bright or anything. And there was like a like sort of like this like pathway around in the water to like this like building it's like a black building that was like octagonal shaped that had windows on it that was like a communication building. And I remember like I was in there with four people and one person I know from like real life. I don't know if you guys remember Noah, but I was in there with Noah from high school and two other people that I don't remember. But Noah and one of the other people got into like a fist fight and they just started fighting. And then at some point we like ran away from them into the building. And I don't remember much of that else about that dream, but that was a pretty cool dream that I wish I remembered more of because it just seemed like really cool.
I could totally
But
see Call of Duty doing a beach map. I'm surprised they haven't actually, like a Normandy, like storming the beach kind of thing. That
yeah. It
seems like it
like
would fit them nicely.
yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, I feel like I think in World at War, that's like where the first Call of Duty zombie map ever like originated from. It wasn't on the beach, but it was later in the levels. There was just like after you like storm the beach and whatever, in more inland, there was just like this like Nocturne Toten what came to be Nocturne Toten. It was just like this barren like building that was like falling apart and it was just like part of the campaign, but that was later made into like the minigame Zombies. But nothing on the beach. Yeah, they never made anything like on the beach. But I guess I could talk about like the actual dream that I was going to talk about, which is like I remember a lot about, which I think is multiple dreams, and I'm gonna remember. I'm gonna. It's more of it's probably gonna come up as I read through it because I like wrote it down in my notes. So here it starts at like I was at like some house with a bunch of random people, and there was this lady who was like in charge of us because we were all kids, and she was just like in charge of everybody. And I wrote down to describe her. The way I described her was some leader bitch. So clearly I wasn't a fan.
Wow.
Yeah, at the house was some randos and some leader bitch. We were upstairs chilling. And leader bitch came upstairs and she was mad, took my phone away, for some reason, and I like stormed off. One of the guys said that one of the other guys can hook us up with some food, and I was like, oh hell yeah, I want some food. And so somehow we like all of a sudden we're back at my old house, and leader bitch was trying to bitch about me to my parents, so I got pissed off and like ran away. And I didn't understand like how like we got to my house, so I was like, how the fuck is she talking to my parents? So I locked myself in the bathroom, and then for some reason I tried to move to the other bathroom because I don't know why, but the lock didn't work. And so the leader bitch lady came in, and I like woke up, but I didn't wake up in real life. I woke up in the dream at a temple where I was now like at this like it's like a game show temple, kind of like it just reminded me of like Survivor slash Survivor Block Island, and I was at this like game
No
show
one's
thing.
gonna know what that is.
I mean, people know what Survivor is.
Okay.
And like there were these like everyone was on like a team with different team colors, and we were all like in like this like tribal attire that was colored this like whatever way. And I was on the green team, I think, apparently. And so we were just like chilling at the temple, and these robot chariots came like strolling by with a wagon attached to the back of them, like Roman chariots with like a wagon at the back, but they're like robots. Robots? They were robots, robotic robots. And I guess it was like I was like in a mini I was like in like a video game or something, because there was like a skill tree where I could spend points, but it was like oh yeah, no, it was like a physical tree, but it was like a skill tree in like a video game, and you could spend points to upgrade, I don't know, you. And for some reason I wrote down try to stick to one branch. Whatever that means. Don't upgrade all the paths. That was like must have been something that they were like telling us. And this we were just like dealing with that, and then all of a sudden everybody was like told to get on your knees and bow when the king comes by. And and so the king came by in like his chariot like way up, like I don't know, up the temple road. And we were we were told to remain seated while the while the elites dance. So I guess like the elites were like these like people with like big like hats on, like big like majestic hats on. And the I don't know what this part means. Elites connected to robot chariots of same color makes them faster. So I think the like these elites were attached to the robot chariots at the front of the robot chariots, and they were of like the different color. I don't actually remember what that was about. Yeah, and they underneath that in brackets I wrote huge ass featherhead. So there you go. That explains it. Uh, and then the one there was this one elite, not really an elite. He wasn't attached to anything, but it was like sort of like the leader of our like little group that we were in, when we were doing our skill tree. He told us that if we disobey and get up while the elites are dancing or whatever, then we'll get melted. We'll just get melted by something, by like I don't know, I guess like the temple gods. And an XQC was there, and he was really good at one of the games, but I don't remember what the game was. I think it was just running. I'm pretty sure it was just running because that's all I remember. I don't remember playing any other games other than running. And then I woke up again, but I didn't wake up. I went back to sleep. Like I like went to sleep at the temple. Like I woke up. Like the next part of the dream, I was like going to sleep, and I like was in a bluish building. So I was like confused, like I didn't know where I was. And I was trying to leave because I didn't know where I was. And then the lady bitch came back. And so she was telling me that I can't go because I don't know why, but she took me back to the room where I was, where I woke up after I went tried to go to sleep or something. I was like, yeah, I tried to go to sleep and then I woke up, but I was like in the bed, in like this bluish room. And so
Wait, you tried to sleep while already having a dream? That's trippy.
yeah, like I think yeah, like I tried to go to sleep at the temple thing, but like while the elites were still dancing, and I just woke up in like a blue room, and I tried to go back to sleep because like I thought I was like I wanted to go back into the dream that I was dreaming. But I could like, I was confused where I was, and then I guess I woke up because I couldn't go back to sleep, and. So Lady Bitch told me that I couldn't leave, and she brought me back to the room. And then I guess I fell asleep, and then I tried to leave again. And then like after like I escaped the room and I was trying to find my way out, it like became clear to me that I was like in a hospital. And I was just like, but like, why am I in a hospital? There's nothing wrong with me. And I was just like wandering through the halls, and there was like, a whole bunch of like nurses and doctors and patients and everything, but the lady bitch was gone. And so I was just like, okay, well, no one's stopping me. I'm just going. And some nurse comes up to me and tells me, "No, you can't leave. You gotta stay." And then she takes me back to the room. And so I tried to leave again, and I get past the nurse. I don't know where I was going, and I was still walking through the halls with like a fuck ton of other nurses and doctors that are like walking past me, and they're just like looking at me, but they're not really like making any point to like talk to me or say anything. They're just kind of looking at me like wondering like what are you doing? And I remember like I walked past like this exit, and like I think I went outside the exit, and like there's just like nowhere to go. It was like on like a roof of a building, and then so I walked like along the outside of the building on top of the roof, and I found a door, another door, and I walked into the door, and I was like back in the hallways, and so I just keep wandering around, and there's a whole bunch of like different corners and hallways that seem to go forever. And then suddenly this doctor like comes up to me, and he was just like, "Hey, you're here, good." Um and he didn't say like he didn't say it like as if I was going in the right direction. Wait, what? Yeah, like he didn't say like how he knew that I was gonna be there, or I just happened to be uh like I guess he thought that I was told to come here, but I was just wandering here and I ended up there, and I just happened to be where I was like supposed to be, and so he put me on a hospital bed, an IV, and then on my chest above my stomach, put like a whole bunch of liquid into my chest, kind of like where like the tube was, when I had the tube in my lung, in like my chest cavity, draining the air. It was like in the same area. But and then I could feel like this liquid running through like underneath my chest, like kind of like it was like kind of like not the air that was there, but it was like a liquid. And then I got wheeled into an operating room, and then I saw like two organs just like sitting on the table next to me, like in saran wrap, just like on like one of those doctor tables. And I was like, and I asked the doctor, I was like, "What the fuck are those? Are those for me?" And he's like, "Yep, those are yours." Or like, "Those are for you." And I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And I just started questioning like how did I like what did I do to myself, like how did I fuck myself up so badly, like this has got to be like for somebody else. And then and then I like fade out because I guess like the drugs like took effect and they knocked me out, and then I woke up post op. I guess like I don't know. I woke up and feels like they were like testing on me or something, and me and the patients there, and another person from like IRL, Matt was there, and he tells me to get a wheelchair, and he wants to show me something, and so we go through a door, and like I was like still in the hospital at this point, and then we go through the door, and then all of a sudden. Outside the door, we're like, it's like this room with like a big window, and we're just in space looking out at space, looking out at Earth, and there's just like aliens invading the Earth and aliens invading the the ship that we were on because we're no longer at a hospital. We're on a ship now, and all these alarms are going off. And like the hospital now is just, it's not a hospital. It's like a military spaceship or something. Like it's like a spaceship with like turrets and shit all over the wall. Like there's wall mounted chairs with like guns on them. Like there's it's like these chairs like I don't know like 4 feet up on the wall, and they just have like two like machine gun like minigun turrets on them, and everybody's like running through the halls panicking, but it's not like a hospital anymore. It's just like hallways like in this like military base. um but then the aliens start boarding the ship, and aliens are like chasing people down and eating them. And so Matt and I go through the wrong door, and like we end up in a closet, and the aliens started like hitting like trying to bash into the door, and because an alien found us in the door, and we're like trying to hold the door shut, and some of its arms were getting in because it had like I don't know like 100 arms, and it just like some of its arms were getting in, and we just like started freaking out. So we opened up the door a little bit and then slammed it shut, and like cut off all of the arms that were reaching in the door, and then it just like it started freaking out and backed off, and we'd like ran through the closet and kept running through the halls, and we found this room had like an open ceiling with like chair guns mounted, and I guess we were no longer in space. We were like closer to the earth because we could breathe like in this room with no ceiling. But I mean, maybe we're still in space. It doesn't really make sense. And but there's like these two wall guns, chair mounted wall guns on either side of the wall. So some random dude gets in one of them, and I get in the other one, and we're trying to like figure out how the guns work. And so we're just fucking shooting up these aliens that are trying to get into the room that we're in with no ceiling. And then a pelican from Halo comes and swoops into this open ceiling room and picks us up. And so we get into the pelican that just like it just took us I don't know out of there. I guess the aliens were like like some form of like my dream version of the Flood or something, because it like seems to be Halo related at this point. And we land on the ground for a bit, and then we get in some banshees. Just like because the pelican dropped us off where like these banshees are, so we could start flying these banshees. And someone crashed a banshee, so rip that guy. And then it told us to or they told us like to get out of the banshees because we don't know what we're doing. And so we get back into the pelican, and then we turn around, and like Master Chief is there just like sitting in the pelican, and Arbiter is on his head, but Arbiter is a little toad with a gravity hammer. He's just like a little frog toad. I don't know. He's just a little toad with a fucking gravity hammer. And I don't know how the fuck that's supposed to work. And one of the Marines in the Pelican was just like lol troll and toad. I don't know why he said that. That's a card company, a trading card company that like sells cards. And then Master Chief takes the gravity hammer, like his big gravity hammer off of his back, and like him and Arbiter now have gravity hammers, but Arbiter's a frog. And he grenade gravity hammer jumps off of the Pelican into the sky, like to the other side of. I guess we're on a Halo ring because I saw like the Halo like coming up into the sky, and he just like zooms, like he gravity hammer grenade jumps just into the sky and then fades away into nothing. And then I woke up and then I actually woke up to real life. And so that all happened in like one sleep cycle. So I guess I remembered like 4 different interconnected dreams all from one sleep cycle.
When was the last time you played Halo?
I think the last time I played Halo, it was actually during the most recent subathon, but this dream was like over a month and a half ago. I hadn't played Halo in probably like, I don't know, like a month or something.
Maybe just saying you need to play Halo more.
uh yeah, are you watching TV?
No, I don't know what that is.
Oh.
Did you guys have that too?
I mean, I heard it coming from your mic.
That Oh, so that's not going in everyone's house? That had me spooked. I thought it was like one of those. I didn't know what I thought was happening. I thought that was like a huge like announcement type of thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know how when you get those Amber Alerts on your phone? I thought like something serious. I thought the nukes were launched. I was freaking out.
So like what was that?
I think. Hold on, let me check.
All right.
Yeah, that was weird.
But that was like the most vivid dream that I had ever remembered before, and like consecutive dream. Like, cause you know how you dream like many dreams every night? Like I've
Yeah.
never remembered 4 individual dreams that were all interconnected from the same night before.
So my roommate just turned on the TV, is what happened.
Oh, okay.
That was so spooky. That had me freaked.
Understandable. So when's the last time you had like a crazy vivid dream like that? Or remembered multiple dreams?
I don't even know. I feel like the ones I remember the most are the ones that are reoccurring. Like I have some reoccurring dreams from childhood that
I
just
used
keep
to.
coming up. So I have this one where I'm like at my old childhood house and like there's a knock on the door and I open the door and it's the same robot that starts chasing me down and then I spend like the next what feels like days trying to run away from this robot and hiding in different places and it's like ripping the roof off of houses and whatnot. But then it could also shrink and like crawl through the keyhole. I'm just trying to escape this robot. That's probably the last one I remember vividly.
Do you have any other recurring dreams?
Um, I can't think of them off the top of my head, but they when it happens, I'm like, I've had this one before. I'll be like, I've had this one before, but none that I can think of off the top of my head.
What about you, Jake?
Yeah, I don't remember the most recent one. Mine are all from childhood too, for sure.
Right.
Just random recurring things. There's one where I'm getting chased by like basically zombies, but the zombies are a cloud, so like the sky is like purple, and the purple just keeps eating the entire like it's like I'm living in the plains or something, somewhere where you can see miles and miles and miles away, and then it just slowly eats up over the houses and everyone turns into zombies. It's pretty cool. Pretty terrifying. I end up hiding behind some garbage cans or something like that, and then a zombie dog comes and finds me and starts attacking me, but before it attacks me, I wake up every time.
Yeah.
It's weird. I wish I knew how to like trigger some of these because they don't happen very often. I want to be able to like control them. I want to see what happens next, really.
Right, yeah,
They
yeah.
won't ever let me.
Yeah, I remember I've like I don't have like I haven't had these dreams in a long time, but I used to have these 2 recurring dreams when I was a kid where I was like one of them like I was Spider-Man and there was like like 4 or 5 other Spider-Man, and like there was 2 Spider-Women, and we all had like assault rifles, and we're all climbing this tree at some school at like my old like elementary school, and we were just like climbing this tree with like all these assault rifles, and I don't really and there wasn't really much of that dream. It never lasted very long, but we were just in there in a tree at some school with
As
assault rifles as Spider-Man.
as spider people. Wow.
Yeah, we were just like we were all wearing like the Spider-Man suit, and we were just like in the tree. And then the other one was where I was Mario, and I was in my bedroom, like at my old house, and it was my old bedroom, but I was Mario, but I was really small, like I was probably like an inch tall, and I was just like this tiny little Mario, and the room was huge, and I could jump like I could jump from the floor to the ceiling and like almost hit my head on the ceiling. And I was just like jumping on Goombas in my room, and I was just like this like inch tall Mario jump like super jumping. And like I never played Mario as a kid, so I don't know where that one came from. Like I loved Spider-Man when I was a kid. I was obsessed with Spider-Man. But like the Mario, I don't know where that came from, because like I never played Mario. I never spent time like playing Mario. I don't know where the Mario came from. It was Mario. Do you guys ever have you ever what's it called? When you can where you can control your dream.
Lucid dreaming?
Yeah. Have you guys ever done that before?
I've had it happen where I've had a lucid dream and I woke up and been like, oh shit, that was a lucid dream. And I try to remember what happened or fall asleep and get back into the dream, but then I just forget everything.
I've had partial
Damn.
lucid dreams, but
I've never.
not full control. Just like I wish something into, or I think something into existence. I'm like, oh, I did that. Cool.
So
And then I
like
kind of
when this
forget about it.
happens, do you know that you're in a dream when that happens?
Kinda. I was very sus. I was like, huh, what the fuck? What's going on here?
Right.
It's been
Oh,
a long time
I
actually.
remember the last dream that I remember.
Nice.
True.
Have you guys seen Pretty Little Liars?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so what it is, it's basically a murder mystery show where these teenage like girls are trying to figure out who killed their friend or whatever, right? And
Right.
the whole time this killer has the name, like the code name A. So I remember in this dream, I was going through the grocery store and I was with a few of my friends and we were just trying to figure out like who A was and we were talking about it and we're like, hey, we know A's gonna be at the store and something's gonna happen. So let's all just act like we're shopping and spread out and see if we see anyone suspicious. And then all of a sudden, like some dude just starts booking it through the aisles in like a black hoodie. And I'm like, I've seen the show. I know that's A. And then I'm like, am I dreaming right now? I remember thinking, am I dreaming right now? Like, what's going on? But I'm like, I just know I got to get this guy. I got to figure out who A is. So he like books it out the store. And obviously, everybody's like getting in my way as I'm trying to run out the store. But this guy has a clear pathway and nobody's stopping him. So I'm like pushing people out of the way in the store. And then I get through like the sliding door and he's like running across the parking lot. And you know how you have that thing in your dreams where you can't run as fast as you like typically could? Like you're giving it up your all, but you feel like you're going nowhere.
Right.
Yeah.
But because I knew this was a dream, I was like, fuck that. And I just took off and I was like running at my full like normal running speed and I was able to catch this guy and I caught him as he ran across the street and it was like a busy street and then I just chased him, ran across and I grabbed him by the back of the hoodie and it did that cartoon thing where like the hoodie like stretches out real far because he's still trying to run and I'm just standing there like holding him and he's like still running in place and I'm like, I got you, stop running. And then I was like, time to find out who you are. And I pull his hood back, and then I just see the back of his head, and it's like brown hair. And then as he goes to turn around, I wake up. And I was like, that
Painful.
sucked.
Grip.
So never found out who A is. I tried to go back to sleep to see to like continue it, and just I either
Yeah,
didn't
that
go back to
never
sleep or
works.
yeah, I don't know what happened after that, but never found out.
Yeah, I wanna learn how to lucid dream. Because I've heard that like you can train yourself to pick up on these cues when you're dreaming that you are dreaming. Like looking at a watch, like reading your watch because like there's no time in a dream, so like the watch face is like just doesn't make sense when you're in a dream, or like checking your phone to check the time and it just like doesn't make sense cuz like you check the phone for the time and it's just not like it just doesn't work. Um so like but like stuff like that, but like it's like you need to do things where you get into the habit of doing it in real life so that it becomes something that you would actually do in your dream without thinking about it. And then you would notice that when you're doing it, wait, the time doesn't make sense. I must be in a dream. And then like from that cue you realize that you're in a dream. I'm sure there's other ones, but
So apparently, you said you wanted to learn how to lucid dream.
yeah.
You're kind of on the right steps from this one website. It seems a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. So the first step is to keep a dream journal, which it sounds like you've kind of started doing already just with this dream, like you wrote it down.
Right, yeah, like I should write down like I want to write down all of them.
Oh, that's the first step. Then it says to have guided meditation. And I don't know if that's for you. I don't know how you
Well,
feel about
I don't know
meditating, but
what
you don't
guided
strike me as
meditation is.
meditation has many benefits such as reducing anxiety and try experimenting with guided meditation focused on lucid dreaming. There are plenty of options available for you. Oh my God. These meditations can help teach you some skills necessary for. Well, okay, so basically join a class on guided meditation. It doesn't fully explain what it is.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't meditated in a while, but I have meditated in the past, but like not to the point where like in like a different state or whatever, but like I've definitely just like cuz meditation could be as simple as just doing nothing and just like not like because meditation is where you like you put your monkey brain to sleep or whatever, essentially where you stop thinking about random things and stuff like that, or at least that's how I was explained to it as.
Oh, there's not a chance in heck you're doing guided meditation.
Okay.
This is a form of meditation that is often led by a real life guide in a group setting or by recordings presented on apps, podcasts, videos, CDs, etc.
But that's it.
So basically, you got to join a class or subscribe to some CDs that have a person telling you how to meditate and walking you through it, and you got to sit through that on some kind of basis.
So guided meditation is literally just
Guided.
meditating to someone telling you what to do.
Exactly.
As simple as it sounds.
Yeah. And then the other steps for lucid dreaming, other than that, is just to set a sleep schedule and then to keep practicing those practices.
I feel like guided
Sleep
meditation
schedule.
would have nothing to do with lucid dreaming. That makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't know either, but that's what it's saying. Website seems pretty legit.
Website sounds very illegit to me.
Funny, it's actually from it's from betterhelp.com.
It makes me think of hypnosis.
Yeah.
Hypnosis.
Or like fortune tellers for
Yeah,
me. It makes me think of a fortune teller.
fair enough. Well, a fortune teller, I feel like it's just like I don't know. I feel like they're more. I feel like it's more similar to hypnosis, and hypnosis doesn't work on me, or at least I've never been hypnotized. So I don't know if I would be able to lucid dream if I can't be hypnotized. But I mean, I guess that's also a correlation that I'm just making that might not actually be correlated. Like, is guided meditation just supposed to make it so you can meditate more easily, or is it actually different than just meditating?
It sounds like it's different than meditate, because from what I've heard, meditation is kind of like the act of trying to clear your mind and just being like having a stillness in your head and just being
Yeah, like no
present
thoughts.
with yourself. Yeah, exactly. Whereas this, your thought is going to be very focused on what the other person is telling you what to do, type of thing. It sounds like a money grab, to be honest.
It sounds like hypnosis to me. A lot like hypnosis.
But yes,
But
See,
but
that money
it
grab
with
part makes me think of the fortune telling. That's where I'm getting.
with hypnosis though, hypnosis is like you not being in control of yourself. Like you're someone's puppet.
yeah.
This you're still fully aware, but letting you're letting go of your thoughts essentially and your mind. Like you're slipping into subconscious of what this other person. I guess yeah, kind of. I guess so. Yeah, I guess so to an extent.
Just the being guided thing just sounds pointless.
I found
It's yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Like maybe it's supposed to be maybe it's supposed to give you a way to get comfortable with the fact that or maybe it's a way make to make it so that your conscious is used to your subconscious when your subconscious is doing its own thing, and so that your conscious is like, oh, and like I'm doing this, like I'm not consciously doing this, but I'm just subconsciously doing this because I'm just listening and I'm not thinking. But then like it gives you the ability to like detect when your subconscious is just doing its own
But if
thing or
you're
something like
thinking and
that.
doing that, then you're consciously thinking that.
Yeah.
Then that turns the subconscious to the conscious.
Well, exactly. Exactly. And I think that might be the goal of it. To make your conscious gain control of your subconscious. Because that's what dreaming is. Dreaming is your subconscious. It's just your brain just like fucking going your brain just going ham without your conscious mind being apparent.
I think
But it,
I think I found a better website that could help with lucid dreaming and it's more informative. This is from the sleepfoundation.org, so you know they're legit. They got .org at the end. So it says to optimize your bedroom for sleeping if you haven't done so.
I
I haven't
mean
done so.
That's step one. So do that. Make sure you got a bed in there. It's
what does that mean?
it's recommending
No distractions. You don't go in there for
practice
anything other than sleep.
practice good hygiene to get into a good REM cycle. Make sure your room's comfortable. They recommend 18.3 degrees
Does
Celsius,
hygiene affect your REM cycle?
apparently.
Is there
And
another definition to hygiene?
it just said practicing a good sleep hygiene
Ah,
can help
that is
ensure
a different definition.
a healthy sleep wake cycle, including a sufficient amount of REM sleep. Make sure your room's dark, relatively quiet, blackout curtains, sleeping masks, and other accessories help reduce light. Earplugs are also recommended. It says earplugs and sound machines that can block out disruptive noises. Um,
Right, so
step
like
two.
white noise would be good, like a fan.
Yeah, yeah. Step two, assess your reality. Um,
Right on.
although the practice reality testing by checking your environment to confirm whether you're sleeping or awake. In a dream, the environment may look familiar, but there will be an inconsistent and dis- distortions compared to reality. By performing these reality checks several times per day, you may acquire the ability. See, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't want to throughout the day be giving myself reality checks because I'm constantly unsure if I'm in a simulation or not.
Oh, why don't you like that? You should like that.
I
You should
no,
want that.
I
You
don't
don't want
want
to know if
that.
you're in a simulation?
No, I want the day to exist and that to be it. Like I don't want to keep having these questions I don't have answers to.
But but
It
but
makes me
but this is the
uncomfortable.
validation that the answer is like you're finding the answer by validating that you're not sleeping.
No, I guess I'm fine with that. I just don't want to ask the big question of am I just am I what is it? Am I an NPC? NPC. NPC.
Is that why you're religious? No, I'm sorry. Oh, no. I won't go there. I won't go there.
No, that's not why. That's a
We can
whole
cut
other
that one
thing.
out.
No, we could leave that.
That's
in.
why
That was
religion in general.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't
No,
know.
it's just it's that I go down that rabbit hole every now and then, and if I get to the point where I'm like I'm gonna drive myself crazy by thinking about this. But I guess if I think about it in only the dream context of like just double checking if I'm awake or if I'm asleep, that's a good way to do it. I guess I could do that.
So
With
like,
my
are you afraid of doing these reality checks and noticing a discrepancy when you are not dreaming?
no, no. No. I don't think so. My issue with doing these reality checks is going down like a whole mental spiral in my brain of what is reality even.
Yeah, I mean,
That fucks with me.
I don't think yeah, I mean well, reality is what we have here and nothing else.
You
And
don't
so
want to think about what reality is, even?
I don't want to go down a deep rabbit hole of it. Like I'm fine with going if am I awake or am I asleep? Am I playing video games? Like is this my no, see, is this my real life? But see, it leads to these other things, man. That it just gives me that internal like mind fuck.
but that's like, why is that bad?
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it makes me uncomfortable.
Like that's how you get more control.
Of what?
Your mind, yourself. I don't
Your
know.
reality?
Is
Your
it
thoughts?
you? Is it your mind, or are you being controlled?
Not if you don't want to ask these questions because you're scared to come up with more questions. I think you're being controlled. Yeah.
I'm not scared to come up with more questions. It's just it's the mind bender. Like it stops me from getting stuff done. Like I got other things to focus on. This is not my problem. This is not something for me to figure out right now.
Okay, Shalom does not want to lucid dream.
No, I'm fine with lucid dreaming, but I might skip that step.
But
Or
like,
just
how are you gonna start
or
lucid
just
dreaming if you can't tell that you're in a dream? That's like the
no,
whole.
the dream part I'm fine with. It's thinking of if I'm in a dream or not while I'm a. Wait,
That's what they're telling. That's the point that they're
I guess,
making. The
man.
point
Yeah.
that they're making is if you don't make it a habit to pay attention to whether or not you're in a dream or not while you're awake, then you won't do it in your dream because you're not going to just start doing it in your dream if you don't do it while you're awake.
So then, how do you ever know? How do you know? How do you know we're not? Ooh, I almost dropped my duck. How do you know that you're just not dreaming right now?
Because I'm paying attention and there are no
Yeah.
discrepancies.
It's very obvious.
I don't know. I'm gonna pinch myself.
In dreams, you just come to
Ouch.
be somewhere randomly in a scenario that is very unrealistic, but it feels realistic.
Right, but what if that's a part of what they do to trick you into thinking, "Oh no, you're not dreaming because you went to or you're awake."
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
what
it
if you
tries
just
to trick you into thinking you're
no?
awake
But I'm
during
saying, what if
dreams.
there's a bigger thing, like a man behind the machine, and it's just like, oh, okay, time to quote unquote wake up. The
Man behind the
simulation.
machine woke up and was like, "Today I'm gonna fuck with Shalom."
Like, have you seen the Truman Show? Like
No.
that movie?
No.
Okay, it's a movie with Jim Carrey, and the premise of the movie is they took this guy and placed him in this town. Like he was born there, he grew up there, but everyone in the town is actors, and they just go around doing the exact same thing every day. And he lives his life. He grows up. He has kids and whatnot, and he's the only one who's not like given the script of what to follow each day, but he grows up thinking this is normal, and he'll still go to sleep and wake up, but he doesn't realize that there's like in this town that's controlled. He's basically in this giant bubble where everything that happens is pre-planned by like
Well,
some other like the studio execs or whatever. And this is a show that's live casted to like the real world. And
yeah,
then they just tune in like a TV show and be like, "Oh, what's Truman up to?"
That sounds cool. What's that
How do
relate
you
to?
know that's not you? Like, how do you
Well,
know you're not that person?
That's not something you can really control, but it's good to have that thought. But what's that? How's that have to do with the dreaming thing?
I
No,
was I was gonna say that like okay like are you familiar with the Matrix?
no.
Oh, it's like it's the fact it's a show, it's a movie based on the fact that we live in a simulation. And it's like, have you ever like seen the meme like, do you want to take the red pill or the blue
Yeah,
pill?
I've seen those memes. Like I get the concept of the Matrix and I've heard of it. I just haven't seen any of it.
All I'm
Except like
saying,
the cut where it's like Neo doing his dodging bullets thing, and for some reason he
right.
can fly or whatever.
Right, because he realizes that he's in the Matrix, which is essentially, in theory, us in our dreams. We don't know if we're in the Matrix in real life, because there's no way to prove that. But we can
That's what I'm saying.
prove
That's what
that we are
messes
in
with
our
me. So to
dreams.
be in real life and to figure out if I'm in a dream or not, and just to not have that 100% certainty, it's like I'm pretty sure I'm awake right now, but I don't know.
What I'm saying is there we could be in the Matrix. We could be in a simulation. But there's no way for us to prove that as people in the simulation. So it's like, to think about that, to dwell on that is pointless because we won't come to the conclusion. We
But
won't.
you have to if you want to lucid dream.
No, that's a different thing. It's paying attention to these things in the real life so that we
Mm.
can notice them in the dream.
So you're
Because the
saying just to
dream we
keep
know isn't real. The real life we don't know if it's real,
We
but
just
it's
don't think
probably
about
real.
it. We just don't think about it in the dream.
Exactly.
Yeah. I guess I can just acknowledge every day that I'm awake. I can do
And you're
that.
not dreaming. Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that. But then I know my mind's gonna dive deeper, but be like, but am I awake really?
But you should know that you are awake.
No,
Yeah,
but
you
like the
don't
big
know.
the bigger scale of being awake, like the deeper question of like, is it all being controlled? Is it like,
It's
is it
not.
are we in the matrix and don't realize it yet? Type of
That
thing.
one isn't important.
No, I know, but I'm saying
Just to make sure that you understand.
I'm gonna go
It's
down
just
that
like thinking
rabbit hole.
like, is there an afterlife?
Okay,
There's no
hold on. Let's
point
stop.
whether it
Hold on. Let's like make sure we're on the same page. Like you guys understand that I understand. We're talking about like I can tell the difference of being awake or asleep. Like I get that part of it. Like can we agree that
Yes.
we? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
The
just saying
point.
what I'm just saying what no, you don't. I'm
No,
just
you
saying
keep saying the same thing, and you're not
I
making
know
any
because we keep
points.
having the same roundabout conversation. I'm like, I hear what you're saying, but you're not willing to accept the fact that it's not something I enjoy and want to spend a whole lot of time thinking about.
You just keep saying
It
that.
doesn't
I
take
know,
a
but
whole
then
lot
we
of
keep
time.
we it does for me.
But that's because you're the one dwelling on it.
I know, and it's just not something I want to dwell on a whole bunch.
Well, then don't. Like, this is what I was saying,
What do you
right?
mean?
It doesn't
No,
just.
that's not how dwelling works. That's like just don't be stressed. Just don't
No,
be
it's not the
angry.
same thing. It's.
Like I can't just stop it. Like that's like saying don't be upset. If I'm upset about something, I'm upset about it. I'm gonna need time for
Dwelling
that to
is doing
pass.
nothing and thinking about something. You can just do something else.
But I can still be thinking about the thing I'm dwelling on. That's my issue. I'm a good multitasker.
Well, well, then you said you have things to do. Then it's not a problem.
No, but the issue is so I'll be at work and say while I'm at work, I'll be dwelling on this thought and I'll continue to dwell on it while I'm at work working.
Okay.
So
I don't want to have that.
What I okay, so what I was saying, but like the reason why, okay, you can dwell on it, but like, you could just, the way I think of it is like,
Don't tell me
the
how you think. You don't have a voice in your head. We can't
there
relate to
could
this at all.
just as well be, we could just as well be in a simulation, but odds are, logically speaking, we will never know if we are in a simulation, just like we will never know if there's an afterlife. So we should act like there isn't one because there's no way that we will know. If there is one, great. If there isn't one, we should make this whatever we have here, this life that we know is real, as important as it gets. Because even if we were wrong and this isn't real, or if we're wrong and there is an afterlife, we should still make this existence as good as it can be because we don't know anything else for sure. We just know probably this. And so it's like we could be in a simulation, but we could not be. So it's like we could think about being in a simulation, but that's not going to help us where we are right now.
I hear what you're saying. That doesn't. I don't. So, what do you want me to do with the information that you just told me? This isn't something like what you said is the terms that I come to that, like, yeah, basically, I won't know. But that doesn't change anything for me.
Okay, but
So
okay,
now
so
what?
what is your dwelling trying to achieve?
I don't want to dwell. I'm not trying to achieve anything by dwelling. It's just a side effect of what happens due to these thoughts.
Okay. So you don't like the not knowing.
Yeah, I guess so.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, well, it's natural though. Humans, as human beings, we crave knowledge. We want to know things.
Hey, we're getting away from the point. Let's go back to next step. Keep a record of your dreams. We talked about that one. Then the next step after that is the power of suggestion. I don't know what that means. Some people can successfully induce lucid dreaming merely by convincing themselves they will have one once they fall asleep.
I
Oh,
try that
so
a
just
lot. It doesn't work
going to sleep with one
unless
that
you're
in
just the
mind.
right kind of person.
I mean,
Yeah.
maybe if you do everything else that it suggests and then convincing yourself that you're going to have one might be more likely to work.
Oh, so yeah, it says like the next step is to pick a lucid dream that you want to have. So to induce it.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
to
I've
like
tried to set my
have the
dreams. You know,
I've never tried that.
I've tried to be like, I want to dream about this tonight, and I'm
See, I
only
never
thinking
tried.
about this, and then it ends up keeping me awake because I'm thinking about it nonstop when I'm supposed to be trying to go to bed. I'm just thinking like, dream about this, dream
Right.
about this, dream about
See,
this.
I think my issue with that is I never plan to go to sleep. It just happens. Like I can only fall asleep. I can't say only. Most of the time when I fall asleep, it's because I'm trying to stay awake.
Are you one of those people that falls asleep in like 5 seconds after hitting your head to the pillow?
No, 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 no. I toss and turn. I bug other people in the room. Well, I say
Because
other
all those
people.
people out there who can do that, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Dude, oh
Uh,
my god. Yeah, I've known a few people who could do that. Like they literally just like, all right, good night, I'm going to bed.
yeah,
And they're just out. And it's like
Sorry. That's
what?
my point. It's my next point. I was gonna talk about it. We're still talking about lucid dreams. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
But yeah, most of the time when I fall asleep, it's because I'm actively trying to do something else. I'm like trying to watch a movie or I'm watching TV or I'm like scrolling through. Yeah, I have to be doing. But if I just lay down and try to fall asleep, my mind starts to wander. I start thinking about other things, and then I'm like, I get bored, and I'm like, I don't want to do it this way. I just don't find it an enjoyable way. Like it will happen. I just don't like waiting there for it to happen. I like just watching TV, and the next thing you know, I'm waking up. I'm like, oh, nice, did it, slept.
yeah, I used to really hate going to bed and going to sleep, but I've started to enjoy being asleep, and I know that I know that I enjoy being asleep, so I've started uh disliking going to bed a little bit more. I've started to stop disliking going to bed as much as I used to. Because I want to
Yeah.
be asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Nice.
definitely had that too. I've
Sleeping's
had
nice.
moments where I've been asleep and not necessarily dreaming, but I'm asleep and I'm like, yes, I'm asleep. And I'm just happy, like, with the fact
Yes.
that I'm sleeping. It's just like the feeling of acceptance, being like, mm-hmm.
Well, obviously, when I'm sleeping, I'm not thinking. But
According to Shalom, if you're laying in bed and you have thoughts, and if you're thinking, you're just saying them out loud because you have
No,
no
I'm not.
capacity to think in your head.
I'm not saying them out loud. Wait, what? What are you talking about? I never said that.
No, about Liam, because you say he doesn't. You always bring up that he doesn't
Oh,
think with
yeah,
words. So obviously
yeah.
he's sitting there talking
So
out
I
loud.
guess he wouldn't have that. He wouldn't have that joy. But I've definitely had the joy of being asleep and warm in bed and be like, yeah, I'm resting, I'm getting energy.
Getting that
That is
energy.
like one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
The best way I can explain it is, like I'm sure you guys have been in a hot tub before, right? And you know that feeling of like, oh, walking to the hot tub, and if it's a little chilly out and you're not in the warm water yet, but then you fully get in, you get your feet in, you're like, ooh, that's warm. But then you get into the shoulder. Wow, I was talking and a spit bubble formed. Like if you were to blow bubbles with soap, it just left my mouth and it's like floating around. That
Oh
was
my
weird.
god.
You're in a hot tub and then you step in and you're like, okay, the feet are warm, but then you get like the shoulders in and all your body, and then you're just like, you know,
Just
you're just like
melts.
all warm, and it's just the acceptance of like I'm hot tubbing.
Dude, I want a hot tub now.
I get
Fuck.
that. I get that with sleep sometimes. Anyway, the last thing to help with your lucid dream is to experiment with gaming. Some studies have shown a link between playing video games and frequency and control of lucid dreams. This is especially true of interactive video games.
Interact, dude. Is this article like 20 years old?
This article
What
is
other kind of are there non-interactive video games?
November 3rd, 2022.
What's an interactive video game? Or what's the opposite, I guess would be the better question. What is not an interactive video game?
Yeah, that's.
Like I actually want a single example of a non-interactive.
Oh, would that be like those like the Walking Dead video game where it's just like a story and you just like act and you just like choose like the fucking you just choose the paths
That's still
basically?
interactive.
Yeah.
If you're not interacting with it, I wouldn't call it a video game. I'd call it like a movie or a story or something.
It says the audience members are observed and not able to interact and participate, and therefore incapable of influencing or changing the experience directly.
But then that I feel like that wouldn't even be a video game. Like that wouldn't be gaming. Like I guess watching Twitch.
So I'm thinking of it if it's a story-driven game.
That
You
you
know what I
can't
mean?
interact
Like
with?
if you're playing like a campaign as opposed to playing like a multiplayer. I think you still interact with it and you're playing the story, but no matter what you do, like the story isn't going to progress differently, you know?
Thinking of a creative game? Okay. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, like no matter what, like the plot is the plot, and like
That's weird.
plot is going to be like further the same for everybody. So like I guess a good example would be um
I,
Last of Us, or like
But
any game, any
I
COD game where you're just doing the campaign.
but
those are
that's still, like
interactive.
interactive. Like you're
No, they
interacting with the
are.
campaign.
You are interacting with the campaign, but it's different as suppose if you're doing like a battle royale, whereas the outcome, like you can keep playing the same game, but the outcome's going to be different each time depending on how you interact in the game
Well,
and
if you
how well
die
you
in the
do.
story mode, that's a different outcome than if you beat the story mode.
Right, but then you just keep spawning and you keep trying to beat the story mode. Like this, but I'm saying
We
like
do
the
that in
story.
Apex too.
But I'm saying the story of the game stays the same. You know, whereas if you're playing like a battle royale, you can land a different part of the map. You can have different people on your team. You know, like each game isn't going to be exactly identical.
Or
You know,
interactive,
yeah.
I guess.
Here, I'll go more into depth in this article.
I mean, I just don't agree that if it's a game that you can play, you are directly interacting with it. Like, what is a non? Because and how would those things differ? like like in terms of like having having a having a lucid dream. Like, you can still play the campaign differently. You can still choose to use a different weapon. You can still choose to kill the enemies in a different order. You can still choose to jump and take a different path. Like,
Yeah, interactive. That's an interesting phrasing. But November 2022, huh?
I just want to say thanks for tuning in. Be sure to check out the website, depending on where you're listening. But if you want to see all the other places to find us, go there, and I'll have all the other places to find us. Um, Subscribe if you haven't already. If you're listening on YouTube, if you're on Apple or Spotify, leave a review. Helps out a lot. Boost those numbers. Yeah, we'll catch you next time we catch you. Deuces.
what if we drop them?
Everything in pairs.
And we'll have to do what they did to Humpty Dumpty. I.
That was fucking horrible. Had to do what they did to Humpty Dumpty. Jesus.
Did you know Humpty Dumpty was actually a cannon?
Yeah. I don't know why I know this, but
Yeah, it was like a cannon that broke and tried to put
well,
back
yeah,
together.
because it was a cannon that was like up on a wall and it like fell
Yeah.
off the wall and broke.
And then
So
somehow
why is he protecting an egg?
I have no
What the fuck
idea
is
why
that
it's-
bullshit? Fucking
Because kids folklore tales don't, I don't know. I don't fucking know.
It is
Maybe it was a
interesting, though,
canon
because-
until it became westernized. Because like, you know, the European fairy tales are a lot more gruesome and whatnot than all these like Western, because westernized it's like all censored and shit. But like European, like Red Riding Hood,
sissy
didn't she get like fucked up by the wolf and like killed by the wolf?
Oh yeah,
in-
she got destroyed.
yeah, and so like in
And I think Hansel and Gretel were like cannibalized.
yeah, they were eaten.
But with turning a
yeah,
cannon
and Winnie
into
the
an
Pooh
egg,
mauled Christopher Robin.
really?
I don't think Winnie Pooh.
Is there a
Winnie the
crossover?
Pooh is not a fairy tale.
Winnie Pooh.
Winnie Pooh.
But I feel like turning an egg, like as a kid, thinking about an egg and thinking about a cannon shares the exact same like form of relevancy to me. Like I think you could have told me it was a cannon as a kid and I would have been just as interested as if it was an egg. I probably knew as much information about both at the time.
I always wondered, was the egg hard boiled or was it just an egg? And once he fell and cracked, like, is that his guts everywhere? Is there any putting him back together? Or if he's hard boiled, can you just glue the shell back on?
I think that was the whole thing, is that they couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together.
Yeah, that third line of the whole thing. That's right. I forgot about that third line. That plot twist. They
And
couldn't
on
put it back
that,
together.
and on that, we can now end the podcast.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no.
Thanks.